All right, so here's a few options for emergency water filtration on the go, or even not during emergency, just during travel or camping. So first is the Nalgene with the Epic water filter. So this is good for a person, one person, not sharing the water. Because the way this works is that you fill this at the water source, such as the creek, the river, the stream, the pond, fresh water only. And you don't need to add any iodine, don't need to add chlorine. When you drink is when it pulls the water through the filter out the straw. So you also don't need to carry a straw because that's built in. So this is the Nalgene edition of the Epic water filters. It's the Epic OG, and I will provide a link to that. But let's say you want to share your water. Well, the next best option would be to use a portable hand-powered water pump. And you have a few options, obviously, but I'm going to show you the manual one first. And this is by Ketodyne. Extremely light, packs into its own case. And what you would do is bring this down either to the water source or bring the water from that source up to your camp. You have two hoses in here, and then you pump the water in, it filters it, and then it sends the purified potable water out. So dirty water in, purified water out. That's why you always want to label the hoses, never get them confused, and clean the hoses quite well after use. So that requires some manual labor. It's a very easy pump. Any child could do it. It sets up in 30 seconds and it collapses into this, and you can bring this with you anywhere you go. But the advantage to something like this is, let's say you don't want to be awkward if you're, let's just, no offense to Mexico, but I think we all know that a lot of Americans have trouble drinking the water in Mexico, the tap water. So instead of being awkward and saying, oh, okay, let me pump this tap water that I'm getting at the dining table into my water bottle, I don't want to make it awkward, of course, but yes, that's going to be quite offensive. You could just carry this and say, oh, I just want to drink out of my own bottle so I can have some for later, and you don't have to worry about finding a clean water source, which could be even worse than the tap water in a place where the water is risky to drink. Even if the water is supposedly safe, there might be different bacteria that the locals are used to that you are not. And if you're just there on a vacation to enjoy your trip, you don't want to have to go through that acclimation process of getting the new bacteria acclimated in your system. It's not going to be an enjoyable trip. You want to filter out basically 99.99% of the water impurities, so you don't have to make this a grueling experience. And you can just pour the water from the tap into here, from the sink into here, and then drink it as you go. This is a great thing to have on a trip. And then lastly is the Survivor filter. And this is not just the regular one, but this is their new battery powered one. I guess it's been out for a little while now, but it gives you two options. One is you can put in AA batteries, and I always use rechargeable, of course, just give you that additional option. Not rely on disposable batteries, always rechargeable. But in case you can't find batteries or you've already discharged them, now you have the ability to plug in a portable power bank. So let's say you have a power bank or a solar powered bank. Basically, all the objections have been addressed. So if you are out and you don't have power to recharge this thing, and you don't have the ability to recharge your battery bank or your batteries, then you can recharge it from a solar powered power station and use it even when the batteries are dead. So you would plug it in like this, turn on your power station, and then it's a water pump, just like the Ketodyne, with the added advantage of USB power. So no more manual pumping. It's ready to go almost whenever you need it. You do need to periodically clean these things out, keep the hoses separate like I mentioned, but these are some easy ways to have very reliable, safe drinking water in most areas. If you want to take it a step further, you can add a UV sterilization pen. Probably not necessary, but can't hurt, could only help. You could also add iodine tablets. probably don't need it, but if you wanted to take that extra step of adding chemical purification, such as with iodine or drops of chlorine bleach, probably not necessary, but you can do it. Just keep in mind that the chlorine bleach, if you're going to go that route, has a very short shelf life. Don't expect it to last more than 6 months. So that's why one of these is going to last you years and years, especially if you never open it, you've never contaminated it with non-potable water. You just have it there for the ready. Redundancy is always key. Might be good to have one of each in case one fails, or in case the motor in the battery operated one fails, you have the manual backup. And as a third option, one of these where it's even more foolproof with fewer parts, fewer variables, fewer things to go wrong. I hope that helps.